make me think of so many things when we're talking because you talk about problem solving without having to talk about it. You talk about creating these feel-good environments without having to directly say it. You talk about almost combating ego without having to really directly hit it. It's so interesting. That's why I love talking with you, and that's why I want to talk with you more. But one of the things you talked about when we started talking about this pop-up that I'm curious, because I'm always curious about it. So I'm more curious about it. And we've talked about this even off camera about putting more stories and voices out there. Mm-hmm. And you said a female-owned black business was where you did the pop-up, right? Mm-hmm. What is it about saying that you feel needs to be important? Like what, I have a perspective, right, from my own perspective, but I'm not black. Mm-hmm. I'm only who I am. Yep. And I grew up in a different time than people before me. Yeah. And my kids are growing up in a different time. You know what I mean? But when you say that, what is it that you want people to hear? Like, what should they be actually hearing and feeling
when you say that? Best questions anybody has ever asked me. Wow. It's important for me to state that as many times as I can because of, shout out to Leslie and Leanne Jones. They're the two sisters who own 1010 Wine and Events. They're
Leslie Jones. Am I thinking of the SNL?
Not SNL Leslie Jones.
Maybe I think Leslie Jones.
It's funny. I saw her on Saturday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, one of my friends, shout out to Tasha Prothro. Her birthday was yesterday. She's one of my closest friends. She's also a chef, private chef to Leslie Jones. So Leslie came to her birthday party.
Oh, this is full circle.
Yeah, it was the first time I had ever seen or met Leslie Jones like in person in my life. Who was very, very sweet. And she adored my little boy. So thank you, Leslie Jones, but a different Leslie Jones.
Yeah.
I feel the need to repeat that as many times as I possibly can because of what a big deal and what it means for those ladies to have accomplished that. How difficult it is for Black and brown entrepreneurs to get small business loans, to be approved for liquor licenses, to all the obstacles that you have to go through. Not being Nepo babies, not being silver spooners, like so on and so forth. Babies, yeah. They literally got it out the mud.
Yeah.
Even their older sister, Leah, like all three, they are three incredibly dynamic women who have accomplished so much and are still like daily, like just blowing my mind with the things that they're able to do. So from that standpoint, I feel the need to say it because of what I could only imagine they went through to open up that space. I feel the need to say it because regardless of what anyone says, and if you think otherwise, then I think you've gotten to enjoy a privilege that other people haven't, but representation absolutely matters. Mm-hmm. To see someone who looks like you, speaks like you, has had the same experience, gone to the same schools, be able to accomplish something like that.
Yeah.
Is important. Our whole conversation is centered on motivation, right?
Yeah.
To keep, their peers motivated, me motivated, our mutual friends motivated. And then, the generations behind, even the ones that came before them.
Yeah.
Communicating to them that it's not too late.
Yeah.
That they can own businesses in the neighborhoods that they grew up in. And then another reason I know their identity is important to them as Black women. It is something that they take a great deal of pride in. So yeah.
Yeah, because
shout out to that Black-owned business.
Because I feel like people need more context.
Yeah,
because you see it, right, and it's almost become. I don't want to trivialize it, but it's almost getting put on and pushed as if when people say this is organic.
Yeah,
and it's just on there, and people don't have context to really understand it. We don't say enough of like, hey, educate me, or I don't know, explain it to me type stuff.
Yeah. And
that's why I wanted to ask, was because you said it and it wasn't just a fleeting thing. It wasn't, it wasn't like a catchphrase. It was like, you made a point to say it
Yeah.
and to kind of resonate in it. And that's why I wanted to ask about it.
Yeah, and then it also like speaks to like how far we have to go, right?
Yeah.
Because every day we're seeing this in the media. The first black, so and so to do X, Y, and Z. The first Hispanic, the first Asian,
There's always a first.
2023. Yeah, there's always a first, but like, like wine bar. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.